It's about redemption, justice, family, compassion. Kind of what would we do when we were faced with our own moral compass?
It's a story about lots of different facets of being imprisoned and guilt, suffering and inequality. And it kind of tells you the story through Mark's eyes, what it's like for just a regular guy to be imprisoned and the nightmare that is.
Shame, guilt, honour, loyalty, love, that moral compass within each individual. How far would you go to one, save your son on one side of it, and on the other side to repent for the sins that you've done? Mark Hopton?
Yeah.
Yes, boss. Yes, Mr. McNally, or yes, boss?
Yes, boss. I'm playing Mark Cobden. To take my story from being an English teacher to quite an uninteresting life, a normal life where nothing really much happens. He suddenly finds himself taken in a van to a prison and locked up amongst, you know, a really alarming, frightening bunch of people that are all going through their own suffering and their own mayhem and paranoia at the same time.
You've been in prison before?
No.
Difficult.
I play a character called Eric McNally, and he's a prison officer. We kind of meet him right at the very beginning. He's a really happy man. He's got a nice little home and he's got a loving wife, and you know, everything looks rosy and everything looks fine. And some of the inmates find out that his son is in another prison, and then it's kind of that moral dilemma of what would we do in his situation.
See, your lad's in love with prison boss.
My lad?
You're David.
We went as far as we could, and I think that's very important when you're telling a story of people who are incarcerated. You're reflecting their environment and their lives at the time.
You're in here as punishment, son, not for it.
Watching someone's character being tested, and you know, not only their morals and all that, but how will they handle the situation? What will they do? What's our human nature? How do we react in these situations? It's a great kind of old-fashioned narrative of dilemmas between these two men who are on this journey of self-discovery, and it's the tragedy of great writing, do you know what I mean?
The emotions are so strong and the imagery is so powerful that you know what's kind of happening.
Two perfectly ordinary men and put them in extraordinary situations and conditions, one through no fault of their own, and the other one through their own kind of illness, you know what I mean?
It's groundbreaking and it's controversial and it's rich and it's enjoyable to do.